Hello, and welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that you're here today. If you've been thinking about whether or not it's time to upgrade to Windows 11, you're in the right place. And today, I'm going to take you through the basics of Windows 11. And when you decide to upgrade, you will at least have a basic foundation and knowledge so you'll feel more confident to jump into the new operating system. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. And while I do that, I want to go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Abby Ritchie. I'm the founder of Senior Savvy. And every week you can find me right here, teaching you the tech skills you need to excel in today's world. Now, I teach these workshops across the country. I love helping out older adults learn how to use their tech their way. And so you'll see that I do not get complicated ever. In fact, it's one of my goals is just to explain these concepts to you so you can understand them. We're not going to get caught up in the technicalities of things. I'm just going to teach you the vocabulary, a basic foundation and knowledge so that you know how to use your devices. All right. And so let's go ahead and hop right into it. Today's workshop is all about Microsoft Windows 11, the basics. Right now, Windows 11 is available for download worldwide, and they have released a free upgrade. It is available to you until next year. You've got just about a year to get on board with it. And I want to encourage you at this point to lean in because you're going to find more and more that the apps you're using, the websites you're going to have been designed for the latest operating system. And that's going to help you remain more secure and more functional online. Now, if this is your first time joining me, welcome, welcome. I am the founder of Senior Savvy. I'm a TEDx speaker. Yes, me. And I've also put together online courses. And one that I absolutely recommend to you right now is how to create secure passwords you can remember. I wrote this with a baseline age of 78 years old. No joke. I made sure you were going to be able to create unique and secure passwords you could remember. And that's why I created that course, which you'll find on my website. Now, at the bottom of every single slide is my email address. I want you to email me if you have any questions at any time. And what I want to know right now is how many of you are using Windows 11. And when I ran this class throughout the week, I found that about half of my students are using Windows 11 and that the other half are using Windows 10. And I'd love to know from you what challenges you're having and what you may want to know more about. You can always email me any questions anytime, and I'll make sure to answer them or address them in the next class. So today we're going to talk about how you sign in. We're going to talk about making your desktop be easy for you. We'll talk about finding your files, arranging your desktop, changing the text size so you can see everything on the screen. We'll talk about connecting your computer to the internet and how to shut everything down. So first, let's dive into what's new, okay? Because a lot of people will say to me, well, I don't even care. I don't care what's new. All I care about is, should I upgrade, right? And so I will always tell you after this point, this has been out for about a year, that you should upgrade so that you have the latest security patches when you're on the internet. And for that reason alone, I say, yes, lean into it. So you should upgrade. Later on in this class, I'm going to show you how to upgrade if your computer is eligible for the upgrade. All right. So first, let's talk about signing into your new Windows 11 computer. There's going to be that login screen. It has some different themes and designs, but you could choose how you want to log in. There are many different options. You could put a passcode in. And may I tell you loud and clear, just make this easy for yourself. Don't make it super complicated, all right? Because you may have to input that several times a day. And this trips a lot of my students up. So please make it simple. Make it 4 characters. Make it a word you can easily type. Don't stress yourself out over it. Just make it easy, okay? If you need help changing that, I can help you. So reach out to me. So you could also choose to use a PIN, which would be a 4-digit code, easy peasy, 4 numbers. You can also choose to use a key or even your fingertip in order to log in. Whichever method you choose, again, make it easy. Keep it simple, KISS, keep it simple senior, all right? Now let's talk about your desktop and the start menu. On your desktop, you can arrange things so that they're easy to see. This is your computer. Your son may have given it to you, but now it's yours. And I want it to be easy for you to find things. We also have sort of a new start menu. You're going to see that the start menu comes up in the middle of your screen as opposed to it coming up on the left side, right? So it's going to be in the middle of the screen now. And you're going to see all the apps and the games on your PC. You can click on anyone and just start using it. You can also pin it to your start menu. What does that mean? That means that you save a spot. You're saving a spot in your start menu by pinning it. Now on our iPhones, we're able to pin the top 9 people that we're communicating with every day. And this is very similar. It just helps you to be able to pin something into your start menu so that you could find it easily. And that is done right here in these instructions. You're going to right click on the app you want to pin. Now the right click is a feature of your mouse. You're probably really familiar with the left click, but there's also a right click there that gives you a whole menu. Now let's talk about the File Explorer. The File Explorer, which was initially known as Windows Explorer, and now File Explorer, is a file manager application that includes all your files and your folders. And you can open the File Explorer by clicking on the icon. It looks like a little file. And then there, you'll be able to see all of your files. Now, I love a good diagram, don't you? I know you do, because you like to know the terminology of all those things and what they're called and how to navigate. And so if you want to lift up your phone to take a quick picture of this diagram, because on the next slide, I've got another picture for you to take. And these are the instructions on how to use the File Explorer in Windows 11. So I want you to take a picture. You'll have this on your phone. Get back to it later, all right? But again, any questions, reach out to me. My email address is right down there at the bottom. Next, I want to talk about customizing your view so that you can find things your way. And when you are in your File Explorer, you'll see that you can go ahead and right-click and you can customize your view. So if you want to see all of your icons large, you could do that. If you want to coordinate and organize them by name alphabetically, you could do that. By type, by the date you last used them. In fact, I recommend you do that, okay? Especially if you've got a desktop right now that has everything on it. Every picture, every PDF, every document, and you're just like, oh, I gotta organize this, right? Sorting everything on your desktop by type, by size, by the application it is going to help you drop things into folders and organize things faster. So when you right-click on one of your desktop folders, it's going to give you the option to sort it any which way you want. And again, you can do this on your desktop. It's usually the first way I help you organize what's on your desktop. Because when you don't organize it, what happens is your computer is constantly trying to figure out where it's supposed to go. And so in the olden days, we had this thing called the disk refrag. Do you remember that? We used to run that occasionally, so everything would get organized. Well, we don't really do that anymore. And if you're storing everything on your desktop, you're creating extra work for your computer. You may even hear it churning and the fan running. That's the extra work you're creating. Now let's talk about ways that you can find things easily, because when I work with you, I find you have a hard time finding things. Everything is gone. You can't find it. It's lost. It used to be there, but now it's not there. Does that sound familiar? So I want to point out to you a couple ways that you could do this. There's a search bar in your start menu. And when you click on the search icon in the taskbar, that's the thing that's at the very bottom, there's a magnifying glass. You can type in a keyword, a name, a date, and your computer will look for it for you. This is designed to save you mental anguish, okay? This is designed to help you find what you're looking for faster and not have to keep peering into different folders or different places. Just search. Instead of scroll, I want you to search, okay? You could search by keyword, and you're going to type it there. And what's going to come up, the very first thing is the best match that your computer thinks you want. May or may not be that. It's also going to look in all of your most used apps. Additionally, it will be searching for that particular word on the web. So you want to select the one that you are looking for. When you're ready to open it, what you're going to do is you're going to click on the open icon. All right, and that's going to open it up for you. So if you were looking for your notes or your notepad, you can type in notepad. The computer's going to search for the best match, and then you're going to select open. Now, I want to bring your attention to down below to the taskbar, which is currently what you're working on right now. So if you had been in Word, and you're working in Word, and then you decide, oh, I want to go check my email, then your email icon is going to pop up down there. Alternatively, you can also pin things to your taskbar, and I recommend you do. You can pin Zoom down there so you could find Zoom quickly and easily. So it's another direct method of finding what you're looking for and being able to get to it fast. Now let's talk about arranging your desktop icons. Well, typically what I see people doing is that you've just got icons all over the place. You have documents, you've got PDFs, you've got pictures. There's no rhyme or reason to it, but I really want you to begin to right click on your mouse on the desktop and then be able to start sorting and viewing by different types of applications. Additionally, I want you to crank up the text size. You know why? So you can read it. Sometimes that font size is so small, it's hard to read. And so I want you to go into your settings, go to System, and then Display, and adjust the scale. Crank it up. The default is about 125. A lot of my clients are a little more comfortable at about 175, but you make it the way you want it to be because this is your computer. Just like if you're going to get into a rent-a-car for the first time or a new car, you'd make all the adjustments to your seat, wouldn't you? Yes, of course you would. Why? That's what they told you to do. You've got to be able to operate the car. So I pull that seat way up. I'm very petite. I'd have to lift up the seat too, so I could see over the steering wheel. I'd adjust my mirrors, of course, and I'd make it so it was a reflection and personalized to me. I want you to do the same thing in your settings. So if you need to increase the display, increase the display. No one's going to think different about you. This is your computer. Next, let's talk about connecting to the Wi-Fi, because if you're not connected, you're not able to get on the internet. Now, down in the bottom in your system tray, which is usually bottom right down there, you're going to see some icons. Those are your system tray icons. There'll be a whole bunch of things down there, including the time and the volume. Okay, did you hear me? And the volume. So if for some reason you're unable to hear sound coming out of your computer, you may have accidentally tapped something on your keyboard and now you have no volume. So you're going to find your volume down there. What else? You're also going to find airplane mode and do not disturb. These are two things that people accidentally do. They put themselves into airplane mode and do not disturb. And you know what that means? You're not going to get any emails coming in and you're not going to be notified by anything. So as a tech support specialist, the first place my eye goes when I'm working with you is down there in the system tray, because that's typically the culprit of a lot of problems. And I can usually tell on site, oh, of course, you put yourself in airplane mode. Oh, of course, you're not connected to the Wi-Fi. Oh, of course, you have an update to do. It's all down there. Consider it like your dashboard in your car. So when you're going to connect to the Wi-Fi, you're going to want to click on that up arrow when you see the fan, and you're going to want to select the Wi-Fi that you're on. There, you can also make an adjustment to your brightness, as well as connect to Bluetooth if you're going to pair a pair of headphones or a microphone or some speakers or something like that. While you're down there, just keep your eye on your system tray / dashboard, because there you can see the volume, the brightness, the battery, and the time. And you know what? If the time is wrong, that can create a lot of problems. So don't overlook that as well. Now I want to talk about browsing the internet. When you want to browse the internet, you're going to use a browser, and the one that comes pre-installed on all Windows devices is Microsoft Edge. If you want to use a different browser like Chrome, you can do that. You can go online on Microsoft Edge, search for Google Chrome, and then download the Chrome browser. So people always ask me, well, what should I use? Actually, I think you should have two browsers. I consider it like a spare key, okay? There are going to be times when you're going to want to have a second browser to make sure you're able to see everything on the web page. Now, about 99% of the applications and the websites are built by programmers designing things in Google Chrome. That means you may not be seeing everything is optimized if you're in Microsoft Edge. And some programs, you've got to be in Google Chrome in order to do that. Now, let's talk about shutting down your computer. I would recommend that you shut down your computer just about once a week, okay? Just about once a week, because you're going to want to allow your computer to have a little break and to get up to speed and refreshed. And doing a shutdown does just that. You're going to look for the power button, and then you're going to select shut down. Now, if you're going to be stepping away for a little bit, and you want everything to be right there when you come back, you're going to select sleep. And if there is something a little bit glitchy about your computer, maybe you've downloaded some new things, maybe it just isn't as functional or as responsive, in that case, you're going to want to restart it, and it refreshes everything on your screen, and you should have the latest. Talking about the latest, let's talk about how to install Windows 11, okay? When you go onto your computer, if you want to check if you're eligible or not, you're going to go ahead and open up settings. You're going to click on Update and Security, select the Windows Update tab, and then check for updates. If you're eligible, it will tell you that you can download and install. If you're not eligible, well, you have about another year to make some decisions, okay? One decision I don't want you to make is to ignore this. I worked with a lot of people 3 years ago when, maybe it was 4 years ago, when Microsoft phased out Windows 7, and they were in a bind, and it was ugly. So I want you not to ignore this, okay? You have about a year to make an educated decision, and it's time to start looking for a new computer. Now, I'm going to say this to you the same way my mechanic told me about 2 years ago. I had a car, just really, really loved it. Had it for about 10 years. It was a great car. It looked great and it ran great too. But after about 10 years, sure, you're going to start having some big problems. And during the course of a year, a lot of things happen. My mechanic said to me, Abby, I want you to start looking at this car as it's in hospice now. Cannot put any more money into it. It's in hospice. It's time to start thinking about the next one. All right. It gave me the freedom to start thinking about the next one and not to keep putting money into this old one. Now, I'm here to help you. All right. We have a support service. It's called Tech Select. And this Tech Select service is going to help you upgrade your system. We're going to help you select your next computer, where to buy it, when to buy it, and prepare the transfer for you. And so our Tech Select service is on our website. You can find it when you go to seniorsavvy.net, select Tech Select. We're going to help you. The reason it's good to call on us is because we know you're using your computer much differently than, say, your son or a business professional, and we want to find just the right thing for you. Now, I'm almost at the end of the presentation, and I always just want to say congratulations. You guys are awesome. I'm so proud of you for learning something new, for continuing to be lifelong learners. And you can always find me on Facebook as well as on YouTube. And if you're ever interested in taking that course, it's also on my website, and it's going to revolutionize the way you are remembering your password. Furthermore, there's my phone number and my email address. And I just want to say it's an honor and a pleasure to be with you today. And I'm looking forward to our next workshop together. Thank you.